They talked behind your back. They questioned your worth. They laughed, they pointed, they whispered. And now, their words echo in your mind, louder than thunder. Most people would snap. Get angry. Lash out. But what if I told you there was a method, a way so calm, so powerful, that criticism turns into fuel, and grace becomes your armor? You're not just watching a video, you're about to learn the Stoic way to deal with critics so effectively, so silently, that they won't know what hit them. Stay with me. You'll never handle criticism the same again. Criticism, whether it's constructive or cruel, is one of the most unavoidable parts of life. And yet, it's the one thing most people never learn how to truly handle. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote to himself daily, not just as reflection, but as preparation. If anyone can prove me wrong, he said, I will gladly change. That's not weakness. That's strength. It takes power to listen without ego. The first Stoic principle for handling criticism is detachment. Not emotional detachment in the sense of apathy, but a sharp separation between what is said and who you are. When someone criticizes you, ask, is it true? If yes, be grateful, they've pointed out something you can improve. If not, why let falsehood disturb your peace? Seneca once said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. The same applies to validation. If you crave constant approval, every critique will cut like a knife. But if you're grounded, whole without applause, then no insult can move you. Grace begins where ego ends. Now imagine this, you're walking through a marketplace. People are shouting, bartering, insulting, praising. Some call you a fool, others a genius. Do you react to every word? No. You keep walking. That's the second Stoic principle, selective perception. Epictetus taught that it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. So when someone criticizes you, pause. Don't react. Analyze. Are they projecting their own fears onto you? Are they attacking because they're insecure? Or, rarely, are they giving you something of value? Either way, you decide what meaning to assign. You're not a puppet to their words. This is where grace takes center stage. Grace isn't about silence. It's about strength under pressure. It's the ability to say, thank you for your opinion, and move forward, not out of arrogance, but out of clarity. When you internalize this, every insult becomes irrelevant. It's like trying to throw stones at the ocean. The waves don't flinch. But let's be honest, this takes practice. It's hard not to respond when you're being attacked. That's why the Stoics trained themselves daily. They imagined insults before they came. They visualized rejection. So when the real thing happened, they weren't shocked. They were ready. That's the power of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. You expect hardship, and when it comes, you meet it calmly. There's another side to this. A deeper, more personal truth. Sometimes, the harshest criticism doesn't come from the outside, but from your own mind. That inner voice. The critic behind the curtain. And here's the hard part, you believe it. The Stoic method doesn't just apply to external insults, it's a weapon against internal judgment, too. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you criticize yourself, stop. Ask, would I speak this way to someone I love? If not, why allow it toward myself? Self-criticism is often disguised as motivation. But beating yourself down is not the same as building yourself up. The Stoic path teaches us to confront our flaws without losing our dignity. It says, you made a mistake. Good. Learn. Adjust. Move on. But never, ever degrade yourself in the process. Grace means growth without cruelty. Here's a practical tactic, journal your criticism. Put your self-judgment on paper. Then answer it, as a Stoic would. Dissect it. Argue with it. This practice creates distance between you and your inner critic. And in that space, you'll find something rare, self-compassion that doesn't weaken you, but refines you. Criticism, when faced with truth and discipline, becomes your ally. Even the darkest words can guide you, if you remain centered, calm, and open. Now let's go one level deeper. The Stoics weren't just reactive, they were proactive. They didn't wait for criticism to test their strength. They sought it. Invited it. Why? Because they knew this truth: the one who fears judgment is still a slave to it. So the final principle is this: radical acceptance. Not of false claims, but of the reality that people will judge you, no matter what you do. You could be the kindest, smartest, most humble person on earth, and still someone will tear you down. That's life. That's human nature. And that's not your problem. Freedom lies in accepting that truth without bitterness. It's in saying, let them talk. Not out of defiance, but peace. You're not here to win everyone's approval. You're here to live with integrity. And integrity doesn't need an audience. Grace, in the Stoic sense, is the quiet strength of knowing who you are, and walking that path, undisturbed. It's smiling at your critics, not because they're right, but because they don't define you. You do. So the next time someone tries to tear you down, remember this: you are the mountain. They are the wind. Let them blow. Let them rage. And you, just stand. If this message stirred something within you, don't scroll past it. Subscribe to the Stoic Hustle and master the art of unshakable calm in a chaotic world. Your path to inner strength starts here.